Hello and welcome to another quick look. Me, GamerWolfSix, of another furry visual novel. This one, Sylving. I believe that's how you pronounce it. The title's down there. Anyways, before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game, and don't get the news version earlier, then you can go to Patreon, which is $5 a month. Though I guess you can also give them less money and not get the early access, but still support them. Hyena. Anyways, let's go to the synopsis of this game. So, this game is... Sylving is a furry visual novel with romance, adventure, drama, action, and comedy. Travel to another world where different anthropomorphic people live, where a long history of conflict has been going between the Udyr and Eldor races for centuries, but not without reasons. You'll meet many different characters and learn about this world, but not everyone is what they seem to be at first glance. Also, before we start, if you're interested in me doing a Let's Play series of this, then tell me, and I'll give it a point which put up higher on the list of user's choice. Also, if you want me to do a quick look of any other games, then tell me. I'll put in the quick look section and give it a point. Hyena. So, anything else I'm missing? Exaggerate setting face? Nope. So, let's start. Ooh. This visual novel contains... We're named Elon. One blinded by pride. Their intention is different, but history will repeat itself. They will hunt, but they will bring no food to the table. The world is always changing, yet a stagnant mind brings nothing but misfortune. But wait, there's more. Oh. Wait, animation? What a particular scent. It's a butt. This passing breeze does not belong here, yet it seems so familiar to me. Oh ho 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 ho. The naughty fox is prancing around where he doesn't belong, and he'll bring a new cub teeming with potential. So much fun to have. Change is finally coming to these dreary lands. The challenges that face him will be great, but he's not alone. Oh, what passion I see. Many stories have ended before, but now another will begin. Oh ho ho, or ho 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 ho. Merry Christmas. I can't wait to meet our little cub. Cub Scouts. I'm finally back. It's been a few years since I last saw this place, which looks like the human world-ish. No matter how much this area changes, with new buildings and newer junk, the spot always remains untouched. Just seeing an opening is getting me all nostalgic. I can't remember when I started. Sorry, sometimes my mouth speaks faster than my brain can read. But I always loved coming to my cave as a kid, most often in the summer. The area is closed off, like usual, but I never cared about that. This place has been run down for as long as I can remember. The only thing showing its private property is a broken, rusty fence. As far as I know, nobody's ever gotten in trouble for trespassing yet, so the idea of getting caught is the last thing on my mind. Heading in, the darkness quickly surrounds me, but a faint light from the entrance is enough to find my way. The moist, stuffy air weighs down on me. There's almost no airflow, and the smell of earth is quite powerful. The ceiling gets lower and lower as I make my way further in. I miss the days when I was a kid and didn't have to bend down like this. Yeah, I miss a lot of things like being a kid. After 20 long meters of hunching over, the exit's enchanting light frees me from the darkness. I always feel like Gollum when I see the light. My precious. Ooh, neat. And there it is. Big, proud, and vibrantly red as ever. My parents never knew about this cave. Whenever I wanted some space myself, I came here. My own personal treehouse. Minus the house. I've never met anyone out here before. As I'm aware, no one else knows about this place. Which is strange. Come to think of it, the cave, looking as wonderful as it is, would attract some attention. Couldn't even find it online. It's empty today as well, but I prefer it that way. I've always enjoyed having this place myself. I mean, it does look pretty neat. The air is lighter and easier to breathe compared to the tunnel, but the dampness is still there. Ooh. I walk up to the tree and drop my satchel and space before zipping up my sweater. The chill in here is quite nice after enduring the hot weather outside. Inspect the tree, seeing if anything is out of place, but it's as beautiful as ever. The rough bark betrays no sign of human meddling or human. The walls of the cave are covered in moss and thick vines. Grass dots the rest of the clearing, with crescent ponds surrounding it all. The sun peeks through the giant hole above, shining through the branches. I'm relieved this place is still intact. There's been reports of theft and vandalism in the area lately, and I was worried they might have discovered my cave. Call me overprotective, but not wanting this place to be ruined. As much as I'd like to, I can't stay to protect the cave every single day. I really hope they don't come here, but I better be prepared for the worst and try to remember the good times in here. I take a deep sigh and resign myself to make the most of it while I can, so I pull out my brand new smartphone. My last phone had gotten quite old, so it was about time I got a new one, and this model has much better camera. The filters on it will let me take the perfect picture to immortalize this place. Also, here's a weird question. Do people still do that thing where, like, as soon as a new phone comes out, they immediately buy it or something like that? I remember that from, 10 years ago? What a weird thing. There's a new phone coming out. I need to get it. Moving around to different spots of the cave, I snap a few pictures of the tree, while searching for the best angle. My photography skills have improved a lot since my last visit, if I do say so myself. After taking many pictures from every angle of the cave, I finally feel satisfied with what I've got. I only really came for the pictures, but it would be a shame to go so soon. And I came all this way. I don't even know when the next time I'll be able to pay a visit. Could be years. Again. Walking back to the tree, I plop down next to its roots and lean back against it, my satchel and phone lying next to me, as I run my fingers through the soft green grass. I remember the times I could come here and read my comic books, eat snacks, play with toys I had brought with me. Things were so different back then. All I've done for the past few years is work, and more work, at an electronics store in the big city. Not that I should complain too much. The job was actually pretty decent. I've always loved tinkering with electronics and learning how they work. And surprisingly, helping out customers has been fairly rewarding too. But every day was the same. I felt like I was stuck in a loop, so I packed up and moved back home. Now that I'm in my hometown, I served some time off before looking for a new job in the area. These past few days have kept me so busy because of the move, and it's so peaceful here. I might as well enjoy myself before getting back to it. I'll just rest for 5 minutes, then I'll go. Then order takeout for dinner and get isukied. It's been too long since I could just close my eyes and do nothing. Doing nothing is highly underrated. It do be like that. If only my job could be laying around and blissfully sleeping. I mean, I think there's like twitches like that, you know? Like sleep streams? I don't know. The sound of footsteps, followed by rustling right beside me. Is there somebody else here? I guess I wasn't the only one coming here today. It's a fox. Also, this area appeared here, I think. Opening my eyes, I can't see anything but big blur right in front of me. Must have gotten some dust in my eyes. I can't make out much of what I'm seeing, but I can tell he's reaching for something next to me. Here are my eyes, almost willing my vision to clear it before looking up. Seriously, just like somebody's stuff? Rude. What the? It's a furry. Is the con in town again? Oh, I guess there's another one right over here. A fox, dressed to the nines, is playing with his phone. His phone? His phones? His costume even has a big fluffy tail sticking out from under his cloak. Not exactly what I was expecting, especially not in this old cave. Is he a LARPer? I've seen people online dressing up in old-timey costumes, but the whole fox costume is a bit much. Hey, we do it at the Renaissance Festival, damn it. Okay, I couldn't do that at the Renaissance Festival because I run hot, and adding an extra layer of fluffiness on me? No. Is there like a furry Renford convention in town or something? That would be like lit. Hey. I hit my hand, trying to get his attention. Hello? He's so focused on his phone that... What could he be... Wait a second. Hey, that's my phone. What's wrong with this guy? Can he hear me? No, he can definitely hear me. He's just pretending like he can't. Whoever this guy is, he clearly isn't all put together in the head. Hey, I'm talking to you. Ignored. Getting fed up with his deaf routine, I get up to my feet and march forward. I said, I'm talking to you. Yep. Or, yep. He finally gives a response after raising my voice and grabbing his shoulder. Not exactly the sound I was expecting out of him, but I guess he's staying in character. He jumps back in a complete surprise, as if he's seen a ghost. By the Eldors, how can you see me? Okay, definitely a LARPer. No one talks like that unless they've watched too many fantasy movies. Or he's just delusional. He is, after all, wearing a full-body costume with medieval attire in a secluded cave. Now that I'm close to him, his mask is pretty well made. The eyes look so real. The way the mouth moves when he speaks is uncanny. I can't imagine how much it must have cost to get such a believable costume. The ears, the fur, the tail, everything. More importantly enough, he has my phone. What kind of maniac just swipes your phone and trolls through it right in front of you? Trolls through it? Listen, I'm not sure what you want, but if you need help contacting someone, I can. Also, we speak English. What? Hey! Give me back my phone, or give me my phone back and sorry I moved my legs, cause my leg fell asleep. He's like, oh, gonna take the phone. Stop right there, criminal scum. You must pay for your crimes. I chase after him, but he's already outpaced me. I shout at the top of my lungs, but he ignores it. He looks back for a moment, shocked that I'm still following, and breaks into a dead sprint. Also, what has he got coming out of his legs? How's he so much faster than me? The costume should be too heavy for him to run at that speed. He exits the cave long before I do. When I reach the threshold, I only catch a glimpse of him as he darts down the road. We're in the forest now? Sorry, reading yawns. I always hate reading yawns. We must have come out of a different tunnel. I thought for sure that after all this time spent in the cave, there was only the one exit. I put my focus solely back on the fleeing fox, running through the bushes ahead. With how dense the foliage is, I might lose him. I attempt to gain ground, leaping over the brush and dirt road bends around. Over the brush, the dirt road bends around. Looking left and right, I catch the fox guy turning a corner far ahead of me. I don't see him though. He's astonishingly fast, even if he weren't wearing such a cumbersome costume. Shouldn't he trip on his own tail or something? I'm already out of breath, and the farther we run, the farther away he gets. I don't know if I can keep this up. Before long, he's completely out of sight. Oh, but there's like a piece of his clothing. I'll catch a scent. Finally, out of this thick forest, my run has come to a slow stop. In this more open landscape, I can see for quite a distance. There's no sign of him. I didn't realize I was in such terrible shape. My heart's pounding like crazy. How was that guy able to run so fast? What was an Olympic level sprinter doing in such a ridiculous costume, stealing other people's phones? Hey, Olympians can be furries too. After a short rest, my breathing is mostly back to normal, but there's still a slight sting in my chest. It's been a while since I ran for this long. It wasn't all that far, really, but that's what I get for being a couch potato. Straightening myself up, I take a look around. A half-rotted fence is slumped on the side of a road, and a golden field of grain lies farther on. The thick forest and mountains beyond aren't familiar to me at all, and an uneasy feeling overtakes me, as if I'm not supposed to be here. I could think of another game where it's like, you're not supposed to be here. What is that? Like Skyrim again or something? We couldn't have gone too far. Maybe I just never knew there were mountains over this way? Which direction did he even go? Now when I give up on my phone, I walk down the road. Maybe someone saw the fox guy, and which way he went, he sort of sticks out. The pain in my chest grows dull, spreading outward as I feel a headache coming on. That's when I see a familiar piece of fabric, caught on a thorn bush on the side of the road. Yeah, it is thorny. Okay, so I went in this direction. Maybe I can lure him to come back for it? Hey, fox guy! I found a piece of your costume stuck to this bush. If you want it, give me my phone back, and we'll call it even. No answer. I was hoping he would show up, so I could at least talk it out with him and have him return it. If this is some sort of prank, it's not funny. My headache is getting worse. I'm feeling feverish and sick and sweating, even though it's actually kind of cool out. When did the temperature change? It was supposed to be a scorcher. Letting out a loud, frustrated groan, I grab the torn fabric. Oh, heck, I keep on hitting this thing. From the bush. Not sure what to do with it, but it's something. I stuff it in my pocket. Hopefully banging this thing doesn't, do anything. Ooh. I just hope he doesn't unlock my phone before I can have it blocked. Is this some kind of, we're in a different world and, there's man and stuff, or whatever that's, messing with her body, or brain? It's strange how big this forest is. If I had known all this was on the other side of the cave, I would have explored it years ago. But for now, I'm just hoping to find my way home before I get a migraine. It's hard to think straight, even through the throbbing pain. Feeling hotter by the second. Hard to think straight through the throbbing pain. I can read. Did I come this way? No, not here. I think maybe the turn was farther down. Head. The pounding is getting worse. Every heartbeat makes it feel like my skull will crack open from the inside. My whole body is sweating like crazy, making my clothes stick to my skin. I open my sweater and fan the flaps against my torso, anything to cool down. The pain in my chest is now an intense ache when I breathe. It's like my lungs are screaming at me not to take in the air. Every bone in my body aches like crazy, like ants crawling under my skin. I can't think anymore. My steps are getting more and more sluggish the further I walk. Clutching my chest, I realize far too late that something isn't right. I double over, just trying to breathe. I can feel my heartbeat pulse through my entire body. Everything feels wrong. I need help. I try to yell for help, but my voice won't come out at all. All I can do is gasp for air. The harder I try to breathe, the more difficult it becomes. What is wrong with... Did my alarm go off? My whole body feels sore. What was I doing last night? It feels like I was hit by a car. A very big car. Repeatedly. Like that time my ex did it. I try to turn over, but my body has no energy to move. Body, how can you betray me like this? I thought we were friends. What time is it? I didn't hear my alarm go off. Struggling to reach my hand out, I feel for the nightstand, but I can only feel more space on my bed. I don't remember it being this wide. I hope I plugged my phone in before I went to sleep. My phone? My phone! I jump into a sitting position as my eyes fly wide open, looking around frantically for my phone, but I sat up too fast and slumped back down dizzy. I find myself on something soft in a brightly lit room. Sharp sunlight shines through the light. I squint until my eyes adjust. Where am I? Oh, right, the Renaissance Festival. Sitting up fully on the soft bed, I grip the silky red sheet that's covering me. Slowly, it dawns on me how truly unfamiliar my surroundings are. All the furniture looks like antiques, and I can't see any lights, outlets, or the trappings of modern interior. There's a chest made of solid wood with intricate carvings. It looks handmade, and features looking a bit asymmetrical in parts. Not that I intention craftsmanship. Clearly, whomever made it knew what they were doing and did a far better job than I ever could. Are we craftsmen as well? A similar design wardrobe on the opposite end of the room. It's so tall, it almost grazes the ceiling. I wonder how anyone could get it through a door in the first place. Magic, maybe? Bear claw shield. Next to it is a large wooden tub. Very simple, 2 metal hoops holding them together. Turn my eyes to the right. I see a drawer with a big mirror on top, and a candelabra? Candelabra. I don't know what that is. Is it supposed to be this or this? I remember my grandma actually had something like this in her bedroom. I think she called it a vanity. The little carved accents give it a simple elegance. Not that I'm an antique connoisseur, but it's way nicer than any of my furniture. I look around for some more to see red drapes, a painting, and a shield? Texas Renaissance Festival. I've never seen a real shield in real life before. It strikes me as an odd thing to decorate a room with. The setup would be picture perfect if it wasn't for my shoes and the sweater in the middle of it all. Wait, how did I even get here? My mind is still trying to wake up, and I'm not entirely convinced I'm not dreaming. The floor creaks from behind the door. Is there someone coming? Are you up, stranger? I heard you shout. A deep and husky ooh voice comes through the door. I don't know why, but I feel uneasy. Enter. Hello? My voice is raspy, and weak. I didn't realize until now, but my throat is painfully dry. Oh no, another furry. Also, the person that makes this game, and I think a different game with a unicorn, draws Batras. And look at that Boji Woji. Notices your boat from across the floor. I can't remember the entirety of that song. Good, you're finally awake. Wolf? Werewolf! Big werewolf! I'm relieved to see you're in better condition today. The big werewolf comes closer. I can see his I have to tilt my head back to meet his gaze due to his towering height. Your fever was dangerously high when I found you. I'm relieved you managed through the night. He leans forward and places a fairly large hand against my forehead. I'm so stunned, I'm completely frozen. Has your fever gone too? I jump back in the bed with a silent scream, sucking in air. I stare at him wide-eyed. My apologies, I didn't mean to startle you. I should have asked before touching you so suddenly. Also, it is kind of weird that these guys, are there humans in these people's universes? He seems to be like, oh, here's this thing I might not have seen before. Oh well, how are you doing? Salutations. But it looks like you're well enough to move, and that's a relief. How are you feeling, stranger? Also, it's good everyone speaks the king's English. It's kind of funny that now that we have a king, or, England as a king, it's the king's English. Was it the queen's English back when Elizabeth was the queen? God, that was an era. Anyways, I'm too busy reeling from the sight of him. Answered him without thinking. Fine? That's good to hear. Can I ask you to stay in bed a bit for a little longer? You just woke up, and I'd like you to take things slow. A werewolf. An actual werewolf. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Argnar. Argnar? I have your surname. I can't very well keep calling you stranger. He chuckles, and my apprehension is chipped away little by little. This isn't exactly what I was expecting when meeting a werewolf for the first time. Aaron. Aaron? Quite a fine name for a lion. It suits you. I guess he hasn't seen a lion before. For a lion? Unless we became a furry. I guess that's a compliment, but why a lion? And why is he being so polite? Not actually what movies led me to expect from a werewolf, because they're racist against werewolves. I guess I wouldn't have any idea how an actual werewolf should act, given my limited knowledge comes exclusively from horror flicks. I should just be happy he's not mauling me right now. Ooh, mommy, daddy. Also, why can't more werewolf stuff have Skyrim werewolves, or the werewolves from that one movie where the guy hunts vampires and werewolves and stuff. Van Helsing, that's it. People are like, ooh, daddy, Van Helsing werewolf is hot. This guy is way too polite to be any kind of werewolf that I know of. Racist. Struggling with words, I put a hand on my face as I scan the room again. Am I really awake? My face feels strange. Feel around my cheeks, nose, mouth. Everything is strangely lumpy. Like I'm one of those Khajiit from Oblivion. And things seem to be out of place. At least there's no pain, but something's definitely wrong. What happened to my face? My face, it's all big and swollen. When I found you, aside from your fever, you looked unharmed. Don't worry, there are no lumps or bruises to be found on your muzzle. Here, have some water. You need to drink a lot when you have a high fever like that. He leans to the side and pulls up a mug from the floor. I didn't even notice it there, being so close to the bed that I couldn't see it. Here, there's more in the picture when you need it. Before I can grasp the mug, I see my own hand for the first time since waking up in this bizarre place. Ooh? But it's not my hand. This one is covered in short, light hair. Fur? My hand. Your what? You raise your left hand, only see it's the same as well. I rub my hands on my forearms, feeling fingers stroking fur, as if I was petting a cat. But it's not like an out-of-body experience. Like my brain can't quite resolve the conflict of sensation and expectation. Is this really my arm? Ah, you mean your paw. Does it hurt? No, but why are my arms covered in fur? The big werewolf goes immediately silent. The tension in the air feels sharp like as any knife. I shouldn't have said that. I don't disturb the wolf, especially not before I can figure out what's going on. Whatever is wrong with me, it'll be safest to act natural and take things in stride for now. Play along now, panic later. I mean, why is my fur orange today? It must be the light here. Mine's been pretty foggy since I woken up. I'm all over the place right now. Yeah. You're a jokester, I see. But that's a good sign. If you feel good enough to joke, you must be doing much better already. I tried to give a smile back to him, but it's hard to muster one while thinking about whatever's going on with me. Joking aside, you better drink up. Your body needs all the water it can get if you're sick. Handing the sizable mug of water to me, I accept it carefully. There's more water in the pitcher next to the bed. Drink as much as you can. I gotta pee. I've never seen you in the village before, Aaron. Are you new to these lands? I guess. Where are you from? I'm from a town, not too far from here, I think. Really? The nearest town is a day's journey. Can you tell me the name of your town? It doesn't seem like it's a good idea to answer that question, but at the same time, it seems like a worse idea to lie. Not knowing what else to do, I just look down and keep quiet. You seem a bit tense. Maybe you still haven't fully recovered. There should be some rivil root somewhere in this house. A cup of it should help calm your nerves. Do you like rivil root, Aaron? I've never heard of a root like that. Sounds very medicinal. Sure, I can handle bitter drinks. That's good. You stay here and rest while I go downstairs and fetch it. And with that, he walks out the door. Finally, alone again. My hands are shaking. I can't believe I just talked to a real werewolf. Looking down at the wine in the mug, I carefully lift it to my lips. I take a long gulp. The cool water rehydrating my throat, but the water spills out from the sides of my mouth and drips onto my shirt. I try not to think about it and just chug down what I can. I'll worry about what's wrong with my mouth later. I set the empty mug on the bed next to me and release a great sigh of relief. I really needed that. Looking down over the blanket, I can make out the shape of my legs. If my arm's like this, then does that mean I have jeans? Also, where's the tail? Also, does this mean I have a spiked, uwu? Pulling the blanket away, I can see that my feet are now covered in the same orange fur, and my feet have been replaced with paws, with wide toes and claws. They're not that wide. Lifting up my shirt, I can see a fluffy belly with white fur poking out my pants. The scent of sweat hits my nose, making my nostrils flare, and I cringe. I cover my nose, inadvertently feeling the odd lump in my face again. My face. Shivers run up my spine as the implications override my shock. I need to look at myself in the mirror right now. I hop off the bed and onto my feet, only to immediately fall over. Ow! Using the stool next to the vanity, I pull myself back up. My legs are shaking like a newborn fawn. I didn't expect it to be so difficult to stand up on these feet. Putting one leg onto the drawer, I push most of my weight against it and face the mirror. New main character background has been unlocked. Also, nice, animated thing. Also, let me just take a picture of this so I can be like, hey, GamerWolf, about 20 weeks in the future-ish. Do that for the thumbnail. In this reflection, I don't see myself. Instead, I see a lion man wearing my clothes. I mean, are we a lion man? We don't have a mane. We're like a twink or something. Anyways, I raise my hand towards my face, and the lion does the same with its fingers. Fingers is, whatever. My fingers feel short, bushy fur, or feel short for bushy fur. Fur has a warm, light color to it. The cream, wine muzzle is kept with a broad, pink nose. The eyes have radiant blue color. In the contrast with the orange fur makes him stand out even more. There's a patch of white hair on his head, roughly swept back like a mohawk and nestled between the round feline ears. So I've had him for a long, long time. The truth of what I'm seeing slowly washes over me. Looking closer, I catch something moving on the corner of my eye. I turn and look behind me, and down at the base of my spine is a white tipped tail flicking back and forth. How is this working with our pants anyways? Feeling around my lower back, my hands find the base of the tail, flipping between the belt line. I have a tail? Awesome. Hearing the door creak open behind me, I jump back against the vanity, nearly falling over and taking it with me. You're quite a jumpy one, aren't you? I'm glad to see you're up and about, but you really should take it slow. I couldn't find any ravel root in this house, so I'll need to head out. For now, you better eat some bread. You're out for a whole day, and are probably starving. Still, you need to be careful to eat light today, since you've been ill. He offers me what I can only assume is a bread roll in his hand. Sitting down on the padded stool, I stare up at him and take the bread from his hand. It's really hard. If it weren't for the weight, I'd assume he just grabbed a rock from outside to mess with me. It smells somewhere between old grain and chalk. I can't see any mold on it, but I wonder when exactly it was baked. How old is this bread? It's fine, I just bought it. There's no need to fret. Go ahead and eat. No good comes from an empty stomach. But it's so hard. It's like Italian bread or something. It might be, but a lion like you shouldn't have any trouble with it. Do I really have to eat this? Hey, it could be worse. You could be Simba and having to eat bugs. God, for a long time I associated eating bugs with growing up because, first he eat bugs, then he becomes a teenager and adult. Children pick up the weirdest thing, I'm pretty sure that if I bite into this bread, I'll break the single tooth I have, every single tooth I have. With how empty my stomach is right now, I'm desperate enough to try. I mean, you could always dunk it in water, or wine. Apparently, I guess wine wasn't as rare as I thought it would be back in the old days. I find a crack at the edge of the roll, putting my teeth on it as I carefully bite down. It's really dry, but it's not so bad. It's like eating a cracker. I take another, bigger bite, clenching my eyes, preparing for the worst. There's a loud, dull crunch in my mouth, like chewing dry cereal. I'm worried. It might be the sound of my teeth crumbling, but I feel like they survived the ordeal. The bread isn't as bad as I thought, but the taste is extraordinarily plain. Are we gonna become a baker in this universe or something? I didn't know how hungry I was until I finally got something in my belly. Before I know it, I've scarfed down the whole thing. After finishing the bread, I see the big werewolf's been quietly staring at me. You managed to eat it all. You must mean your fever is almost gone. When I found you, I picked up what I could only find, but I'm not certain if it's everything. Are you missing any belongings? I found these things by your feet. He's put in my shoes, and I'm sitting on my sweater. But there is one thing that's not here. I don't see my satchel. Where'd you last see it? It was with me in the clearing of the cave, next to the big red tree. People are wise to avoid caves in that forest. They're not safe. Especially the one with that tree. He waves his hand at the corner of the room. I can only assume the cave's in that general direction. What are you doing there? Why, did you go there with anyone else? No, I was just visiting my old cave. Your cave? There's no laughing matter. Are you saying it belongs to you? I didn't mean it like that. It's just a cave I played in as a kid, and I went to visit it. No one goes into that cave just to visit it. He takes a step forward, pinning me against the table. Ooh. What were you doing in there? I didn't do anything. What did you do in that cave, Aaron? I said I didn't do anything. I don't even know what's going on. Where am I? Why do I look like this? I'm starting to really freak out. I don't even know if I'm safe right now, with this big werewolf glaring at me and pinning me. Ooh. I can feel my emotions start to swell my throat, but I'm too scared to look away. Heavy silence fills the room, broken only by the faint mumbles of noises drifting through the window. We stare at each other uncomfortably for a painfully long amount of time. You're clearly not feeling well. You need more time to rest. I must go out for a while. Stay here until I return. Without another word, he's gone. I can hear his heavy steps, followed with the sound of a door opening and closing downstairs. Feeling a little relieved, I register a sharp pain in my hands. Looking down, I see that I have them clenched tight, and it hurts to open them. These new sharp claws have been dug deep into my palm. Have been dug deep. Okay, whatever. They're not bleeding, but I've left deep red marks in them. I guess that's okay grammar. What happened to me? What is this werewolf after? Why would he take care of me? And what was with the interrogation? I'm not a real lying man thing. I want to be honest, but I don't even know what he expects me to say. He's not happy with how evasive I'm being, but it's not like he was expecting... No, it was not like he was expecting himself all that much either. And now I have to sit here and wait for him to come back. What the hell am I thinking? I can't stay here. Without my phone to call for help, my only option is to find my way back to the cave ASAP. I lean down and grab my shoes. I can only hope that wolf won't be back anytime soon. Come on, get in there. Damn it. Why did my toes have to get so big? My new feet, feel like they've gone up a few sizes, making it impossible to get my shoes on. I really don't want to go out barefoot, but I can't even get my toes in properly. Stupid claws, stupid toe beans. Can I even call them toes anymore? They're as big as potatoes now. Wait, the toes or the feet? Stupid potato toes. That would be big toes. After several tries to maneuver my foot in, I give up in frustration. No matter what I do, I can't wear them when my feet are like this. Shoes or none, I need to get out of here before he gets back. I wrap my shoes in my sweater and hug the bundle on my chest before standing up. But standing proves to be quite the challenge. Putting the weight on my heels feels off. Oop. but I have to get used to it as I go. I take a step, flailing an arm around like I'm walking on a tightrope. To get any sort of balance, I widen my gait and take slow, small, delicate steps towards the door. Opening it, I face a much greater obstacle. Stairs. Yep, stairs. I'm not even out of this room, and I've already hit a snag. The individual steps aren't long enough, making my toes go over the edge. The only way to get any real footing is to turn my foot sideways. I steady myself against the wall as I carefully take them one at a time. Don't slip, don't slip, don't slip. It's not fast, but it's the safest way down. Nice little place. I let out a breath I had been holding halfway down as my feet finally meet stable ground again. After I look up the stairs I'd bested, I turn around to face myself in an old-time kitchen. Or find myself. It's pleasant and quaint. The sunlight streaming in through the window is enough to brighten up the whole room. I find myself taking it all in. Cupboards, dining table, bench, a wood burning stove, oven. Everything is very well maintained, and the scene feels quite cozy. They even have a black pot sitting on the kitchen table. I can smell the spice rack across the room, but my nose struggles to identify the different scents. If anything, there are too many of them, but I'm not trying to focus on the smells right now, and see what other things are there. There's a hanger over the stove, and a number of dried goods, like meat, yellow flowers, and I think that's garlic? They're shaped like garlic, but the color is off, and the skin has an unusual sheen to it, even in low light. First glance, I thought I recognized everything, but in fact, I haven't seen most of these ingredients before, like the short blue mushrooms. There's also what looks like a bunch of red grapes with a fuzzy skin, like what peaches have. And I think the green curly things are beans. I shake my head, snapping out of it. This isn't the time to get distracted. I make my way to what must be the front door and pull it open. Ooh, rabbit girl. Ooh. And doggo. And lizard guy. Oh boy. I went to a fur convention. Not sure what I was expecting. I could barely manage talking to a werewolf. I'm not sure how to handle an entire town full of animal people. Maybe I should have taken a peek out the window first. I settle back to the living room and take a glance outside. Animals of all shapes and sizes. Squirrels, moose, lizards, all walking upright and dressed in medieval clothing. I'm starting to have second thoughts about running out the door. I don't exactly blend in with what I'm wearing. One step out there, and I'll stick out like a whale in the jungle. A whale in the jungle? Okay. At best, they'll think I'm a weirdo. At worst, they'll hunt me down and burn me as a witch. But if I stay here, the big wolf will come back and ask more questions. Oh, he did act nice to me. He's clearly fishing for something, and I'm not sure what he'll do once he has it. Getting out of here is my best bet. The sooner, the better. If I'm lucky, they might ignore me and think I'm just some weird, harmless guy. At least I hope so. With my bundle tightly in my arms, I ready myself for the first steps out there. Well, here goes nothing. So there's a fox, I'm not sure what that is in the far background. There's a rat. And there's Flynn. Let's check it. Okay. I step out onto the streets, looking around in amazement at the strange place I found myself in. Small children race between the legs of their parents. A small mice and kitten run past me with sticks in their hand. A number of food stalls sit across the street. Their owners shout over each other in a contest to drum the most attention for their wares. Freshly baked bread, right out of the oven. Come get them while they're hot. Only 2 core. Squittles, Julius, mambaras. You won't find fruits and vegetables better than these in all of Nafart. It's certainly an aggressive sales tactic. Do they like this all day? Though, with the number of people they're drawing in, I can't argue with the results. I take a moment to get my bearings. The wolf pointed somewhere in this direction, straight down the street. I try to appear as inconspicuous as possible, do my best to stay out of everyone's way. However, the uneven road, when paired with my feet, makes walking naturally impossible. Still, I can't help but taking the hustle and bustle of the town. I see some people are dressed in nice, clean clothing, while others look more worn and ragged. I pass by 3 ladies standing next to one of the stalls, and the chatter emerges from the white noise of the crowd. One of them is saying something like, "My husband always been working horse on the farm, but now he's the size of the farm." At that, the 3 erupt in a piercing cackle, like a hyena. If it wasn't for the animalistic features, they're all easily passed for human, even down to the body language and how they gossip. Keeping my gaze forward to avoid eye contact, I do my best to avoid bumping into anyone, which is proving difficult because something behind me is throwing off my balance left and right. Taking a look back, I see the tail swishing like crazy. Can you just stay still for a minute? I whisper to it, as if it could hear me, but that just made it thrash about even more. I give up on calming it and start trudging again. A balance really could do without this tail. I guess you could maybe try and grab it? Also, it looks like our town is like Nordic in a way? Reaching a crossroad, I can see the woods in the distance, down the path leading out of the village. Exiting the market, I pass a few residential-looking houses before emerging from the town. There's a nice mill house churning merrily above the stream with a bridge beside it. I can only hope my way back lies beyond. I just wish I had my phone now. No one back home is gonna believe I came to a place like this. Also that I'm a furry. I hurry to the bridge, almost home free, when if my footing fails me and I fall into someone green. His skin is ice cold to the touch when I push myself off him. Seeing that he's carrying a shell behind him, he must be a turtle. He's just a few inches shorter than me. My eyes shoot down to his left arm, or a lack thereof. The sleeve is tied into a knot. Looking back at his face, I see he's scowling at me. The furrows of his brow as obvious as the scar on his left eye. Sorry. I stare at the ground, giving him a weak apology. I hurry up and jog across the bridge, just to get away from this awkward moment. I wonder if he's going to come back. It took longer than I'd liked, but eventually the village is out of sight, and I'm finally alone again. I let out a long breath, loosened my grip on the bundle in my arms. Bundle? Okay. I don't know how many of them took note of me, but I don't really care at this point. I got out of there, and I'm never going back. I look down at my feet as I walk forward. The tail is mostly calmed down, making the walk much easier for me. Soon enough, I met with the familiar scenery. The field of yellow grain, the stone wall, the rotten fence, it's all there. This is where I last saw that fox guy, except the bush isn't there anymore. Weird. You know, the one that was right here with his thing? Who I know now wasn't the same guy in the costume. I was chasing after a real, walking, talking, clothes-wearing fox. If I had known this, I wouldn't have chased him. For all I know, he could have bitten me when he had the chance and turned me into a fox or something. A werefox. I guess I should be glad he didn't tag me back then. I've been through this way twice now, so I recognize the trees. This is around the spot I lost sight of him, so I must be close. most of these trees are the same as I'd seen back at home, but that twisting one, the one twisting in itself, with the purple leaves, is something I've never seen before. Getting farther in the woods, I catch sight of a small stone trail leading to the wood. It's kind of weird how, like, I don't know, I was like thinking of weird trees. I was like, is there a place where there's square trees? Also, like an animal that poops squares? Weird. This has to be the way back to the cave. After a minute of maneuvering around the brush and the overgrowth on the trail, I arrive back at the opening of the cave. The entrance is built like a shrine, with inscribed stone columns. It was clearly abandoned long ago, judged by the shambles it's in. The tree is partially destroyed on top of the entryway, prying apart the stonework and crumbling what's left of the pillars. I can't understand why the big wolf said people don't go there, or here. The entrance on my side is much less ominous compared to this one. I feel a bit scared to walk through it, but it's the only way back home that I know of. As I make my way through the tunnel, I realize how much more spacious this side is compared to my end. I can easily walk upright, which I didn't really notice when I was sprinting through it the first time. The air is still heavy and cold, so at least that hasn't changed. The tunnel opens out, and I feel the wave of relief as I see the big red tree. I've never been happier to see my own tree than I am right now, though it's strange coming from this side of the cave. I make up my beeline to the clearing, passing the tree toward where the tunnel home should be, completely forgetting my satchel. But the tunnel isn't here or there. Where? How? I draw my sweater and shoes, press my hands against where the exit should be, moving them about. There's just solid wall. Was there a cave-in? Look around for any signs of collapse, but the wall looks like there's never been a tunnel to begin with. I give a testing knock, hoping maybe the stone's hollow, maybe it's solid, but it's solid. Another wave of panic starts to wash over me. I pan my fist against the stone, but nothing changes, nothing budges. Let me out of here! I can't understand what's going on, but I can't just stop here. I keep pounding the wall, shouting even louder. Let me out! But nothing changes. The wall stands firm. All that's changed now changes that now my hand is in pain from punching solid rock. I grab a heavy stone from the ground and hurl it at the wall with everything I've got. Hooah! I yell. My yell echoes through the cave, as does the heavy clunk of the rock hitting the wall. Nothing. There's nothing but an impassable rock wall. I'm so confused. Am I even in the right cave? I can obviously see that everything is how it's supposed to be. The tree, the lake, the vines hanging down are all where they should be. Everything is as it should be. This is my cave. Except the tunnel switched? Why? How? If everything else is the same, why would the old tunnel just disappear? My head's spinning. I'm too overwhelmed to make any sense of it all. Feeling lightheaded, I move back to the tree and sit against its trunk. I pull my knees to my chest, my body heavy with defeat. I surf into the water, fighting off the waves of emotion that have been building up. The only thing I can think of is that if the tunnel switched places once, maybe they can switch again. Maybe, if I just wait, it's bound to go back to how it used to be. Nothing changed. It's been hours now, but the new tunnel is still there, and the old one isn't. I adjust my sitting again, but my butt's starting to feel sore. I just have to wait here until it turns back the way it was. It's going to. It has to. Looking up through the big hole above me, I see the sky, dim, with warm pink and yellow hues of the late afternoon. I start to consider what I should do if the old tunnel doesn't come back soon. Should I keep waiting? I'm scared that if I leave, I'll miss my chance. My stomach is rumbling. If I hadn't planned on staying this long, I would have packed snacks, or grab a bite to eat before leaving the house. There were those blue mushrooms in the wolf's kitchen. If they're edible, I might be able to find some in the woods. Don't do that. A, you don't know if those ones are edible, and B, mushrooms aren't mushrooms. The water here is crystal clear, so I can drink it, probably. It's not like exactly the ideal plan. It's not like I've got any other options right now. Thinking hard of what to do, I spend my time exploring my body. Ooh, I reach up to my head and feel big, round ears. They're really very soft. It's kind of nice to rub them, even a little comforting. Looking down my hand again, I see pads on my fingers and palm. Everything else is covered in fur. I still can't believe my body changed like this. Footsteps. Well, I think with that, we're going to leave it on a cliffhanger. Because, well, I don't know. I'm liking this one especially. I might personally put it higher on my list of things, But, yeah. And of this quick look. Sorry, my brain is a bit bleh. So, comment, guys. I like comments, if you like, dislike, tips, tricks. Otherwise, if you like me, tube and likes it, groom, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos tab at groom. Please remember to spay your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on a channel. Oh, look at that! Now lining him. That's some quality shit right there. Kind of like with Unveiling, where at first there's a hand, then there's two hands, and then it's like, there's one wolf guy there, and then it's like, hey, we're here. I wonder if it's going to change over time. But yeah, if you want to play this game, available free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, go to Patreon, which is $10 a month. $10? One sec. Yep. And yeah, if you want me to play this game, tell me, and I'll give it a point. We should put it higher on the list. And if you have any other quick looks for me to do, then tell me, and I'll give them a point and put them on my quick look roulette. But now, there's not time for closing it just yet, or doing more of... At some point I should really put in the thing to be like, how do you pronounce this? Now is the time for seeing what we're going to do next weekend. We've got 17 left to do. Yeah, I got myself a ton of free visual novels to do. So... boop. And now, which of the 17 is going to be next week's? Number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pirate PC. Which I can't full screen for some reason. English. Settings. Sound. Language. I said English. And 24, I think. Wait, what? Graphics very low? Well, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully this works. Boop. Damn it. I was kind of worried about that. Well, I'm gonna have to censor that, I guess. Well, let's see if I can fiddle with it. No, I guess it's its own thing. So I'll just have to switch this quick look thing over there. That's a problem with some of these things. Boop. There we go. Pirate Husbandos. That game about... Does it full screen? Full screen? Kinda. Let's see. Pirate Husbandos. Still a bit loud. Gonna put it slightly more quiet. That should be good. Yeah? Hopefully. Okay, so, having nearly drowned at sea, you find yourself an outsider among the handsome pirate crew who rescued you. So kind of like that other pirate game. What was it, High Seas or something? I don't know. They sail by day, do depraved things at night, and you can't keep your mind from thinking about them. What, the depraved things or the whatever. Set sail into sexy and dangerous story of my pirate husbandos. So yeah, if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. Yeah, there it is. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, it's in Chinese. Texture downloads, the voting power, monthly cheat codes. I mean, I guess there seems to be a system. Work in progress updates. Sorry, like my phone was doing the things like, is my phone doing a thing? Does one of these things say early access? How many things they got? Okay, they got like one for, they got $100 a month thing? Christ. I can't spell early. Early? Yeah, there we go. I guess they might not have early access for their thing. I don't know. You can read their thing. I just opened the thing and did the stuff. But yeah. So until next time, another quick look by me, GamerWolfSix, of some other game, that being my pirate husbandos. Though we like to call them privateers, you know? Anyways, thanks and see ya.